Previously on Survivor. A huge adventure began for 20 college students as 2 tribes were drafted, leaving some already on the outs of their tribe.
I would like to surprise some people. I don't know, just like prove myself and like that I shouldn't have been picked last.
The tribes were tested right away in a grueling physical challenge, and one tribe's tactical error haunted them in the end.
Team gets it! And they win immunity!
On the winning tribe, an alliance of 5 quickly formed, and they were led by the pair of Chris L. and Steve. On the losing tribe, Waka, there was serious mistrust between Chris Thomas and Rebecca.
Because we don't get along. We never have. So as soon as he was put on, I was skeptical of everything that was happening.
And we don't trust her. We don't trust her.
Definitely don't trust her.
But they managed to put aside their differences and form a majority alliance.
Alright, I'll go find Chandler.
Right. However, Rebecca and I know that we need to focus down the road because the second it's down to the 6 of us, she and I are probably the first to go.
So Rebecca and Holly made a side alliance with Katie and Chandler to protect themselves from Chris's wrath.
I felt really good. I really trusted Rebecca and I trusted Holly.
Realizing they were on the outs, Siona and Ryan tried to scramble.
So Ryan and I decided that we need to start working because I'm not about to get kicked off the first time.
But they didn't realize just how late they were.
With Holly and Katie, they could have talked to other people, I don't know. They seem too nice to be that manipulative, but I really have no clue.
Finding themselves in every single alliance, Holly and Chandler hatched a plan to keep both sides unaware.
We're going to sacrifice Siona, but we're going to make it look like you were faithful to Ryan.
It's pretty cool being in everyone's own secret alliance.
I'm kind of in with everyone, which sucks.
But right before tribal council, Steve's tribe hatched a plan to throw off the vote.
Dude, we could literally get Chris out. I swear we could, yo.
And just seconds before tribal council, the Waka tribe was thrown into disarray.
We had the original alliance, and I hear that people trying to vote me out. That's not cool. And we wanted to go Holly, but Rebecca, you refused to vote with us, so I can't trust you.
But only Phil had realized what the other tribe had done.
It's pretty ridiculous, and Holly was definitely not planning that. But unfortunately, there's not really enough time to communicate that.
And so Rebecca paid the ultimate price.
Rebecca, tribe is smoking.
19 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. In the wake of the stunning elimination of Rebecca, a power quadruplet of Phil, Chandler, Chris, and Josh began to emerge.
The best bet I have, I think, is staying with the guys.
And along with Nicole and Holly, they established their next move.
Honestly, next time we're not going to be here in Ryan and Siona.
On Nahami, a new Power 4 began to arise. And Chris and Steve gained even more security when they managed to find a hidden immunity idol.
Let's fucking go! That's such a game, dude.
Seeking their first challenge win, Waka brought the spirit. But the spirit didn't match the results, as Nahami won their second straight challenge. Impressed by Siona's performance in the scavenger hunt, Chris Thomas immediately tried to add them to his alliance.
But the way you got the Memorial Gardens clue, literally, like the second you read it, like completely knocked me off guard.
And for Chris, Josh, and Phil, it seemed that everything was going smoothly.
Not trying to sound cocky, but to be honest, your fate's in our hand right now. If we decide to vote for you, you're gone.
I just think that them 3, Chris, Josh, and Philip, think that they have everything like in the bag, and none of them are going to get voted out. So I think it would be great if we could vote for one of them, but nobody else wants to. So.
And their power grew even more, as Phil found the idol for the Waka tribe.
Yeah. You found it? Yeah. Well, I'm still pumped right now. This is great. This is great.
This is definitely good for the team.
We are set.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, Ryan and Siona were trying to change things up.
Literally just
Josh and Chris.
and they attempted to recruit crucial swing votes, Holly and Chandler, to their side.
I don't trust them at all. Like they would turn on any of us.
And both Holly and Chandler double-crossed Chris, Josh, and Phil to get Josh out.
Alright, Joe.
18 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. On the Waka tribe, swing votes Chandler and Holly had successfully turned around the game by getting Josh out.
We decided to just completely cut off that alliance by voting out one of the guys because they're the biggest threat to us.
Leaving Chris and Phil on the bottom of the tribe.
We basically have no alliance at all.
And out for revenge.
I already told Holly that I don't care if it gets me voted off, but I'm going through anything I can do to gut her.
At the immunity challenge, Zandria and Connor couldn't solve the brain teasers, giving Waka and Phil a nearly 7-minute lead for the Dominoes portion. But while Phil faltered, Nicole L. stepped up to the challenge and completed the Dominoes in just one try, giving Nahami an improbable win, their third in a row. After Chris's public displays of anger towards the tribe, Holly thought that he was the obvious vote.
Oh, Chris is definitely voted out next.
But Chris still had some tricks up his sleeve, and convinced Chandler and Nicole Senti to switch their votes off of him.
Holly. Playing too many sides.
Leading to Holly's stunning blindside.
Holly, tribe is broken.
17 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. For the 4th straight week, Waka couldn't get their stuff together and failed in a 4th straight challenge. But while Nahami celebrated immunity yet again, Waka bonded over their disdain for the other tribe.
They're all nice. The girls are so pretty with their long hair.
And the 6 biggest personalities on Waka bonded together to send home Katie, the shy one of the group.
We're still voting Alex.
With the tribe numbers completely out of whack, a tribe swap occurred, and it split up the power duos of Steve and Chris LeCompte and Phil and Chris Thomas.
We were brokenhearted.
At a heated Survivor Olympics challenge, the new Waka tribe got the first win for a tribe named Waka, and the new tribe quickly formed a Power 4 alliance of Chris, Alex, and Nicole from the old Nahami tribe, and Phil from old Waka. Meanwhile, on the new Nahami tribe,
Alright, we're gonna take Connor.
Ryan, Siona, and Chris Thomas look to pull in Connor, an outsider on the old Nahami tribe.
Connor is the person I have the fewest connections with. If my team made it to tribal, he's the person I'd want to see go because I just don't know him.
But I didn't even honestly know that many people on my tribe. I actually knew more people on the other tribe.
And they planned to take out Lauren. But Lauren and Steve found out and tried to split up the pair of Ryan and Siona. And it came to a head at tribal council, where no love was lost.
Siona, I honestly despise you a lot.
But Steve and Lauren's plan came up just short when swing votes Connor and Chris Thomas voted against them.
Lauren, please don't take it personally and still help me with your mat lab.
And Lauren's fate was truly decided when Carla of the old Nahami tribe threw her vote.
I'm ready for Connor, because hopefully no one else is going to vote for him, so he'll stay around.
Leaving Lauren blindsided by a 4-3-1 vote. With old Waka finally in control, how will Zandria, Steve, and Carla survive? 15 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. For Siona, Chris, and Ryan, the Egg Challenge provided them with their first immunity win. And both sides of the Nahami tribe welcomed the victory.
The challenge was great. First win for me.
Pumped that A was that one step closer to merge.
When both tribes' idol clues were released, multiple players went frantically searching. But Chris and Phil, the true owners of the idols, revealed the location to each other.
And you're like, dude, you gotta swear to me. And I was like, dude, I got you.
And they eventually shared this information with Nicole L., a member of their trio alliance.
I mean, but she's
On the losing Waka tribe, the 5 guys united in a plan to vote out Ashley.
Yeah, we have the numbers right here, so let's get rid of her.
But Phil, who had integrated himself with Chris L., had different plans. Along with his relationship with Chris L., he formed a side alliance with Ashley and kept his ties strong with Chandler and Nicole Senti from
I don't
Waka.
think he realizes how close that I'm close with both Chandler and Nicole.
And in an effort to keep his old alliance on Waka strong, he convinced Chris L. to take out Brandon.
I would say like a potential threat, like not huge or anything, but like I would see like, because like Alex is close with Brandon. I would say Brandon if we were gonna do one of that. Brandon first. Yeah.
And the widespread gossip on the tribe turned Alex and Brandon against each other.
Hopefully, Brandon should be gone after tonight.
Hopefully, Alex goes home tonight.
At Tribal Council, Chris L. and Phil stuck with the plan to take out Brandon.
Promises.
But Phil made sure he emphasized the need to stay true to his Waka allies.
I promised I would take you to the merge, and I'm still planning on doing that.
And Brandon was voted out in a tense 5-3 vote.
Brandon, tribe is spoken.
With old Nahami members eliminated in back-to-back tribals, will the 6 of Old Waka finally lose one? 14 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor.
Me, Phil, and Ashley saved my ass. Mostly Ashley.
Alex was thankful for Ashley and Phil saving him.
Go Phil and Ashley.
That's kind of when we saw that Ashley is with us.
And Nicole Senti and Chandler were left on the bottom of the tribe.
Oh shit.
I was really confused.
And even after a win, Steve felt on the bottom of the Nahami tribe.
I don't trust anyone on my team. It's kind of what it comes down to. I kind of feel like I'm crawling to the merge right now.
On Waka, Ashley thought it made sense for the old Nahami numbers to keep her around.
I think it's either me or Nicole on the chopping block, and it doesn't make sense for them and all my allies to vote me off.
But Phil wanted to keep old Waka together.
I'm gonna go discuss this with Chris and probably try to flip things around.
And by being a little too vocal at the blindfold challenge, Ashley created an even bigger target for herself.
Ashley, I'm walking this way! Tell us which way to go!
I can't! I'm walking now!
So, like,
I just want to vote Ashley, honestly.
I do too, but like...
After Phil put the blame on Ashley, Chris and Nicole Locke thought that Nicole Senti was actually the right move.
Why would we get rid of someone that we know needs numbers and doesn't have the power that or whatever?
But Phil's influence won them over. And at Tribal Council, Chris L. cast the deciding vote for Ashley.
It's someone that I get annoyed of very easily, and I've lied to her the whole game. So Ashley, sorry, I'm voting you out. I was never not going to vote you out. I was always going to vote you out.
7th person vote out of Survivor Maryland Outback. Ashley. That's 4. That's enough tonight, Ashley.
Ashley, private.
Leaving Alex stunned. 13 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. At the start of the game, the Nahami tribe was rolling, and they won every single one of the first 4 challenges.
Nahami wins immunity. But Nahami wins immunity.
Leaving the Waka tribe saddened, but also disgusted by the Nahami domination.
They're all nice. The girls are so pretty with their long hair.
But the losing streak bonded the 6 remaining Wakas together, creating a tight alliance. And at a game-changing tribe swap, the old Wakas had much more unity than the old Nahamis.
When we went to the redistribution, me, Chris, and Sienna all decided that we're going to keep old Waka together.
And the old Wakas took control of the game, when on the new Nahami tribe, Chris, Ryan, and Siona banded together and pulled in Connor, who they felt was on the bottom of the old Nahami
honestly
tribe.
know that many people on my tribe. I actually knew more people on the other tribe.
And the Wakas saw their power grow every week as Phil worked his way into an alliance with Chris LeCompte,
who he used to keep Chandler and Nicole Senti of Waka safe, while both tribes systematically plotted against the old Nahami, sending 5 straight Nahami members packing. And so miraculously, the 6 Wakas made it intact to the merge, with Connor as their 7th, leaving Chris L., Steve, Nicole L., and Zandre left on the outs. 11 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor, the 11 remaining players merged into one tribe.
Original Waka holds power now. Original Waka all the way.
And all signs pointed towards the old Waka tribe dominating after the merge. But the players quickly realized the dynamics of the game were more about duos, and the pair of Chris LeCompte and Steve pulled in Chandler and Connor to blow the game wide open.
I'm trusting Chris a little bit, and I think he's a pretty cool guy, so I'd like to kind of stay with him for a couple more votes at least.
After Phil took immunity in the first post-merge challenge, it seemed like the consensus was to vote out Zandria, who didn't deserve to be in the game.
Zandria is the player that shouldn't be, pretty much. Like, she shouldn't be around right now.
But Ryan, the leader of the old Waka group, decided that Nicole Locke was actually the right target.
I don't know, she never approached me, she never asked for an alliance. I feel like she thinks that she's all hunky-dory, but little does she know I'm aligned with every single other person.
Meanwhile, Chandler and Connor tried to figure out how they could play both sides of the game.
We should get them all to vote together. That way we stay in the middle.
And after frenzied conversation leading up to Tribal Council, Chandler, Connor, Nicole Senti, and Phil all turned on the old Waka plan.
Zandria, Travis spoken.
Leading to Zandria's torch getting snuffed. 10 players remain, but only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. After Zandria's last-minute elimination, the old Waka alliance was fractured, and Ryan was angry at Phil in particular for causing the vote switch.
I don't like when there's a player in the game who's playing the way I do, and it seems like he's starting to play the way I do, so he needs to go before it causes a serious threat.
With widespread support to take out Phil, Chris LeCompte decided to utilize this to try to flush out Phil's idol. And when Siona put on a dominating show in a bug-eating competition,
Phil has the idol.
You know?
Chris LeCompte was able to enact a plan to take out Chris Thomas and the idol.
But us 3 and Steve vote for Chris.
It came down to Connor, Chris, Nicole, and Steve all doing their part to lie to everyone else.
So we're voting for Ryan?
Right. Yeah.
At Tribal Council, the votes lined up exactly as planned. But the plan didn't work when Phil held on to his idol. But with Chris Thomas voted out, Phil was alone on the tribe. 9 are left, but only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. After Chris Thomas was voted out of the game, Phil was left alone on the tribe. But he quickly struck up a renewed relationship with Chris LeCompte.
I mean, I was kind of trying to make it seem like I was slightly aligned with them, but like I'm not, just because like gotta bench Chris.
Meanwhile, Chris was promising a final 5 deal to Chandler and Connor that also involved his allies Steve and Nicole Locke. But to avenge Chris Thomas, Phil teamed up with Ryan to take over the game and take out Chris LeCompte. And they recruited Chandler and by proxy Connor into the fold. And so it looked all set to take out Chris LeCompte and his immunity idol.
The reign of LeCompte to fall!
Then I was
But at
talking
the
to
last second, Nicole Senti told
asked me,
Steve
like, upfront,
that Chris was a target,
block, and I said yes because I didn't want to lie.
setting off a barrage of scrambling at Tribal Council, which led to Chris directly calling out Connor and Chandler for betraying him.
The people that I was being honest with, I don't think are being honest with me. I don't know.
And the mistrust
So
and
I'm probably
paranoia
gonna play my idol.
caused
I'm voting
Chris
for
to tell his allies to
Siona.
vote for Siona
Voting for
instead of
Siona.
Phil. While Chandler and Connor didn't make a
Sorry,
decision
Phil.
for either side and kept their votes for Phil.
Chris, don't know what made you not trust me.
And at the last second, Ryan and Phil told their allies to vote for Nicole Locke, fearing that Chris would play his idol. sending Nicole home in a stunning 4-3-2 vote.
Travis spoken.
I baby rock.
How will Chris and Steve react to losing their close ally? And what side will Chandler and Connor choose? 8 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor, Connor and Chandler were in the middle of 2 alliances and on top of the game. They had a Final 4 pact with Chris and Steve, and were in tight with Ryan, Siona, and Nicole Senti.
Steve wins immunity!
At first, it seemed that Steve would have immunity for the week, but the challenge results were overturned, and Phil won the immunity at the Makeup Challenge. Connor and Chandler seemed set on sticking with Chris and Steve, but Ryan engineered a plan to split the votes on the 2 of them and take out Chris's idol.
Putting 3 on Steve and 3 on Chris.
But Connor and Chandler weren't convinced of the plan until Siona gave a rousing speech.
Don't we want that? Don't we want their tears to flow out of their eyes because they lost?
I don't know why that inspired. It was just like her feminist spiel.
At Tribal Council, Chris gave an emotional pitch to stay in the game. But the 3-3 plan stayed intact until Nicole Senti switched her vote.
Trying to break up the pairs. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And when Chris LeCompte gave his idol to Steve, Senti's vote switch sent Connor home, leaving everyone stunned.
Connor, Travis spoken.
That literally defied my mind.
7 are left, but only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. Since the merge, the game's structure has been characterized by a series of tight pairs, and the constant maneuvering for power has caused constant tension.
Siona's bitching, that's the option. What?
Siona's bitching. That's what's happening.
And even schemes to turn on their own pair.
Possible outcome for me going forward in the game would be Chris would go home.
After Connor's blindside, the rest of the game decided that Chris and Steve were the pair that had to be split.
Whichever one doesn't win tonight, Chris or Steve, the other one's going home next week, no questions asked.
Yeah, I mean.
But Chris and Steve had an ace in the hole for another week, with Nicole, who lied about her involvement in the plan to take out Connor.
I'm too naive.
No,
I had too many feelings.
After Steve won immunity, Chris tried to save himself by recruiting Chandler to vote out Phil. And knowing this plan, Ryan schemed to get Phil to play his idol, taking the idol out of the game and sending Chris LeCompte home. At the last second, Chris tried to switch the vote to Siona to save himself from the idol play. But Steve vetoed the plan and forced Chris to stick with voting Phil, putting his own ally in grave danger.
I kind of screwed Chris over on, because if he goes home tonight, we probably could have voted for Siona.
But the conflicting messages from Ryan and Chris caused Phil to decide not to play the idol. And as a result, he was blindsided.
Travis spoken.
And I went home with the idol in my pocket.
Now, 2 original pairs are left vying for power, but Nicole Senti and Chandler are quickly becoming a powerful third pair to reckon with. 6 are left, but only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight? Previously on Survivor. Siona and Steve crafted a plan to have the power duos take over the game. But Ryan and Chris lacked the trust to go through with it.
Like Chris and Steve would vote us out. They're gonna break us up.
I think we do need to vote out Steve.
Leaving 2 distinct factions, and Nicole and Chandler in the middle. With Chandler sticking with Ryan and Siona, Nicole Senti became the ultimate swing vote yet again.
Worse. It's like a 1 in 3 chance between you and Chandler and Ryan.
I don't want Senti in the final 3
Why?
because she hasn't played the game at all.
In the Tribal Council, she voted with Chris and Steve, causing a deadlock in the game.
I wouldn't vote for you. It's just gonna make it harder next week.
But fearing the reprisal of a double tie, Chandler flipped his vote in the revote.
I think Nicole stayed and voted Siona.
Sending Siona packing.
Siona, Travis spoken.
5 are left, and only one can claim the title of sole survivor. Who will be voted out tonight?